undertake to achieve our self-realization, God realization, by progressing and succeeding in establishing our sambandha, abhideya, and prayojana, and by doing so achieve perfection. So, so a quick brief about the origin of Ekadashi. The story is from history of Ekadashi. This is from Padma Purana. So it all started with in Satyuga there lived a demon called Mura, demon or Muradana, and he had great strength. And using that, he was terrorizing people, devotees on earth, and even devatas, the demigods in heavenly planetary system. They were afraid. So the demigods prayed to Lord Vishnu for protection, and Lord, being favorable to his devotees, he decided to do so. And so now Lord Vishnu, there is no opportunity for him to show his chivalry or fight with anyone, because everyone is in a perfect state in Vaikuntha. So same in Goloka, everywhere. So this is his Leela, and he comes here to on our in this universe to perform his Leela, and in doing so, um, protects his devotee and bless them, like that. So this happened long time back in Satya Yuga, and so he fought with Mura Danav, and this went on for a very long time. And unable to defeat him, he felt tired and he went to sleep in a cave in Badrinath. So there he felt exhausted in that cave in Himalayas, and he slept. Now Mura Danav, chasing Lord Vishnu, um, reached that cave. Now Lord is in that cave. He's resting with his 10 senses and a mind, and he's doing the rest. And Muradanav, seeing that Lord is sleeping, um, he decided to use his sword to kill the Lord. Suddenly, an extremely beautiful and luminous lady, female, emerged from the body of the Lord, body of Lord Vishnu, and she was playing with a sword. So she stopped Muradanav and fought with him and slayed him. Now, when Lord Vishnu woke up, he saw that the Muradanav, who he was fighting with, was actually dead there, lying dead there, and this lady was standing right before him. Lord asked her, and she said that she is his one of his potencies, and indeed she killed the Muradanav. So Lord Vishnu blessed her, being very pleased with this um, potency of his, and he um, told her that, ask whatever boon you want. And that happened to be day 11th day of the waxing moon. So Lord Vishnu was very pleased by her service. And the Ekadasi Devi, she said, because I am from your Ekadash Indriyas, 11 senses of the body, um, 10 senses and one mind, I shall be known as Ekadasi. And because I'm filled with penance, so I desire that people should observe Ekadasi Vrat and control their 11 senses, Ekadash Indriyas, on this day. So on the day of this Vrat, no one should consume grains and like rice, wheat, beans, etc. So Lord Vishnu agreed, and ever since the devotees of the Lord, especially in Bharatvarsha, um, they perform this Ekadasi Vrata on the 11th day of bright half or of the moon and dark half of the moon. Now, and Lord Vishnu also said that the devotees who observe this Ekadasi day with fasting and prayers will have his choicest of blessings. So whoever fasts on Ekadasi will have all his sins removed and will achieve salvation. Now, what happens is this Ekadasi is a special boon because devotee is trying to progress in bhakti. They face so many impediments. They want to, but they face so many challenges, hindrances. So Ekadasi, each Ekadasi has a special mercy, special blessing, which frees the devotee or eradicates a specific hindrance in the path of bhakti that devotees face. So, so this is what it is. Ekadasi Mahavrata, and Lord Narayana, Lord Vishnu is the deity for this vrata, and Lord Vishnu is actually the god of everyone. He is Bhagwan, and he is also god of the demigods. So generally, you will see that people take different vratas for to please different demigods. Now, um, nothing wrong with it, but that's a slow progression. by worshipping Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna directly, we free ourselves from illusory potency of the Lord. And so we save ourselves from so many, otherwise, so many births we would have taken in this 84 lakh species, taking birth, dying, and so on again and again, this repetitive nature, the cycle. So by pleasing Lord, slowly or steadily, we will um, progress in bhakti and free ourselves of so many births otherwise we would have taken. Now, there are many material benefits you will find. Um, People talk about, what the benefits it does to the material body and so and so. I'll not get into those details. Like, when you fast, there are some benefits, but we'll get into the spiritual benefits. So total, there are like 24 Ekadasis Vratas in a year. So there are 12 months in a year, and there are two Ekadasi Vratas in each month. So there are total 24, but there are 26 Ekadasis Vratas in Adhik Mas because of an extra lunar month. Um, so these are like special boons or special boons of mercy to progress in bhakti, each being a specific benefit or specific, removing specific hindrances and providing immense specific mercy. Um, so also it is an opportunity for us to reflect and connect with the Supreme Lord and practice spirituality. Um, so what's special about this Kamika Ekadasi? So there's a story. Um, So once there lived a strong and powerful warrior during one of these adventures. They're actually true stories. So he happened to kill a pious devotee of Sridhara Vishnu, and the warrior wanted to free himself from this sin of killing a pious man. So he decided to perform austerities, and he checked with so many learned saints about an austerity that would help him cleansing of the sin he has committed. Um, so the saints told him that to perform the Kadasi Vrata, which happens to fall in the waning phase of the moon in Shravana month. And so he did that, and Lord Vishnu was very pleased. And after the fasting and prayers, he did so many other activities, like he gave food to poor and helped them get over their difficulties by providing them financial remuneration. So Lord Vishnu, being very pleased, um, appeared in his Sridhara form and gave him a liberation from sin of accidentally killing a pious man. So there are many you would come across in scriptures. This happened to be one, and there's another one. So this is in from Brahma Vaivarta Purana. There is this saintly king Yudhishthira Maharaja. He inquired from Lord Supreme Lord Krishna. I would like to hear the glories of this Ekadasi that occurs during the dark fortnight, Krishna Paksha of the month of Shravana, July, August. So, O Govinda Deva, please be merciful to me and explain its glories. O Supreme Vasudeva, I offer my most humble obeisances unto you. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna replied, O king, please listen attentively, as I describe the auspicious influence of this holy fast day, which removes all sins. So it happened so that Narad Muni once asked Lord Brahma about this same topic. And so Narad Muni said to Lord Brahmaji, O regent of all beings, O you who sit upon a water-borne lotus throne, please tell me the name of this Ekadasi that occurs during the dark um, fortnight of the sacred month of Shravana. Please also tell me which deity is to be worshipped on that holy day and the process one must follow to observe and the merit it awards. Lord Brahma replied, My dear son Narada, for the benefit of all humanity, I shall happily tell you everything you wish to know, for just hearing the glories of Kamika Ekadasi bestows merit equal to that obtained by one who performs a horse sacrifice. So these horse sacrifices, this happened in previous yugas. It's impossible to do such a sacrifice at that level, at that scale. It requires so much of pure stuff. The performer, the place, and the ingredients used have to be pure, and it's large quantity, and it involves so many people, which is very difficult to achieve in this present time. So Certainly, great merit is attained by one who worships and who also meditates on the lotus with the four-armed Lord Gadadhara, who holds conch shell, disc, club, and lotus in his hands, and who is also known as Sridhara, Hari, Vishnu, Madhava, and Madhusudana. And the blessings achieved by such a person, devotee who worships Lord Vishnu exclusively, are far greater than those achieved by one who takes a sacred bath in the Ganges at Kashi, Varanasi, in the forest of Naimisharanya, or at Pushkara. And and Pushkara is one place on the planet where Lord Brahma is formally worshipped. There's only one place. But one who observes this Kamika Ekadashi, and worships Lord Sri Krishna achieves greater merit than one who has darshan of Lord Kedarnatha in the Himalayas, or one who bathes at Kurukshetra during a solar eclipse, or one who donates the whole earth in charity, including its forests and oceans, or one who bathes in the Gandaki river. This is in Nepal right now. So where the sacred shaligrams are found, or Godavari river on a full moon Purnima day that falls on a Monday when Leo, Simha Rashi, and Jupiter Guru are conjunct. So observing Kamika Ekadasi bestows the same merit as donating a milk cow and an auspicious calf, along with a feed on this all auspicious day. Whoever worships Lord Sri Sridhara Deva Vishnu is glorified by all devas, Gandharvas, Pannagas, and Nagas. So this is these living beings. They are in higher planetary systems, um, higher and lower planetary systems. So those who are afraid of their past sins and completely immersed in sinful materialistic life should at least observe this best of Ekadasis according to their ability and thus attain liberation. This Ekadasi is the purest of all days and the most powerful for removing off sins of the native, of the performer. Oh, Narad ji, Lord Sri Hari himself once said about this Ekadasi: one who fasts on Kamika Ekadasi attains much more merit than one who studies all the scriptural literatures. Now, hearing the comparison of this Kamika Ekadasi with so many other austerities and things which our scriptures glorify, our acharyas glorify, you can imagine, you can realize that this Ekadasi Vrata and this Kamika Ekadasi is of immense benefit compared to any other activity. So anyone who fasts on this particular day and remains awake throughout the night will never experience the anger of Yamaraja, the king of death personified. So this is one of the generic. This is one of the boons which we'll come across in every Ekadasi. Um, that you have to and also the procedure that you have to perform fast and stay awake, and then you will never experience Yamraj or Yamadutas. Um, so it has been seen that whoever observes Kamika Ekadasi will not have to suffer future births. And in the past too, many yogis of devotion who fasted on this day went to the spiritual world. One should therefore follow in their auspicious footsteps and strictly observe a fast on this most auspicious of Ekadasis. So generally, we are always told, and we should always practice what our Guru Janas tell us to do, and because they are also our role models. So our sages, our gurus and acharyas from our parampara, they have instructions and they are our role models. So when we hear that they are emphasizing these things, so we should know that it has great weight and significance. So whoever worships Lord Sri Hari with tulsi leaves on this day is freed from all implications of sin. So you should note this. And indeed, he lives untouched by sin, as the lotus leaf, although in the water, is untouched by it. Whosoever offers Lord Sri Hari but a single leaf from a sacred tulsi leaf attains as much merit as one who gives away in charity 200 grams of gold and 800 grams of silver. So you see, Lord is very merciful. You don't have to go through, like in other vratas, you will have to go through so much of austerity, or those will be very difficult to practice. Here, Lord is making it so simple for his bhaktas, so his devotees, and you see the benefit you get. Otherwise, the merit you attain is more than, like, giving charity 200 grams of gold and 800 grams of silver, just by offering one single tulsi leaf to the lotus feet of the Lord. The Supreme Personality of God is more pleased by one who offers him a single tulsi leaf than by any other jewel or gemstones, etc. One who offers Lord Keshava, like one who offers Lord Keshava newly grown manjari buds from the tulsi plant gets rid of all sins he has committed during this or any other lifetime. Indeed, mere darshan of tulsi or Kamika on Kamika Ekadasi removes all sins, and merely touching her and praying to her removes all kinds of disease. So these are spiritual benefits also. They help in practice bhakti. One who waters Tulsi Devi need never fear the Lord of Death, Yamaraja. One who plants or transplants Tulsi on this day will eventually reside with Lord Sri Krishna in his own abode. To Srimati Tulsi Devi, who awards liberation in devotion service, one should therefore daily offer one's full obeisances. Even Chitragupta, Yamaraja's secretary, cannot calculate the merit obtained by one who offers Srimati Tulsi Devi a perpetually burning ghee lamp. So dear is this sacred Ekadasi to the Supreme Personality of Godhead that all the forefathers of one who offers a bright ghee lamp to Lord Sri Krishna on this day ascend to the heavenly planets and drink the celestial nectar there. Now, whoever offers a ghee or sesame oil lamp to Sri Krishna on this day is free from all the sins and enters the abode of Surya, the sun god, with a body as bright as 10 million lamps. This Ekadasi is so powerful that if one who is unable to fast simply follows the practices as mentioned herein, is elevated to the heavenly planets along with all their forefathers. O Maharaja Yudhishthira, Lord Shri Krishna concluded, these were the words of Prajapati Brahma to his son Narada Muni concerning the incalculable glories of this Kamika Ekadasi, which removes all sins. This sacred day nullifies even the sin of killing a Brahmana or the sin of killing an unborn child in the womb, and it promotes one to the spiritual world by making one supremely meritorious. One who kills the innocent, that is, a Brahmin, a child in the womb, a pious and a spotless woman, etc., and then later hears about the glories of Kamika Ekadasi will be relieved of the reactions to one's sins. Now, you should note, however, one should not think beforehand that one can kill a Brahmin or other innocent people and then go unpunished simply by hearing of this Ekadasi. This should not be your intention. Such knowingly committing of sin is an abomination. So whoever hears these glories of the Kamika Ekadasi with faith becomes free of all sins and returns home back to Godhead, Vishnu Loka Vaikuntha. So this narration ends here, the glorification of the Shravana Krishna Ekadashi or Kamika Ekadashi from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Now, the inner meaning of Ekadashi is, so one may wonder if we observe Ekadashi because of the stellar arrangement is inauspicious, and by doing so, we are trying to counteract the influence. That is, if we don't follow Ekadashi, there will be certain inauspicious things, just like in solar or lunar eclipse. And thus we are trying to counteract the influence or the negative malefic influence. No, that is not the case. In fact, to observe Ekadasi Vrata is most auspicious. One meaning of Upavasa is fasting. Another meaning is to reside, that is Vasa, nearby, Upa. So the real principle of Ekadasi is to reside near Bhagwan. So in reality, Ekadasi Vrata is about getting closer to the God. The hope is that we will then spend these days, Ekadasi days, moving nearer to Bhagwan through Hari Bhakti. And upon finding how relishable these experiences are, we'll end up practicing these activities every day, forever, and wherever we are. So we should observe Ekadasi fast with this intention. And if you must have heard that another name of Lord Vishnu is Hari Vasara. This is Hari is Lord Vishnu's another name, and Vasara means day. So this is Lord Vishnu's day. This is what it literally translates to, the day of Lord Hari. So it is considered a day dedicated to Lord Hari. So it is a time for increased devotion and spiritual practice. So therefore, Hari Vasara specifically denotes that Ekadasi is a day associated with and dedicated to Lord Vishnu. So to come closer to Lord Vishnu, closer to Bhagwan, this is the purpose of Ekadasi Vrata. Now, currently, what we call love is actually lust. Lust is perverted reflection of love of Godhead because of misusing of our senses. They're becoming more and more material. Our mind is becoming more and more material. Our existence is becoming more and more material. So we are actually spiritual beings. We are part and parcel of, we are infinitesimal part and parcel of Lord Krishna, who is the sum total. And so we practice bhakti on every day, and especially on Ekadasi day, to finally achieve loving service in devotion, to achieve spiritual perfection. So those are the things. Now, so on this day, we are focusing all our energy and intention on uh, pleasing Lord Shri Krishna Bhagwan. So the four regulative principles. So you must have come across these four regulative principles. Um, so there are four. These are the four pillars upon which the human society rests. These pillars are mercy, truthfulness, austerity, and cleanliness. So we want to increase these more and more. Everyone appreciates these qualities. By following the four regulative principles, we support these pillars and free ourselves from miseries and from causing pain to others. So, along with chanting Hare Krishna, following these four principles uh, form the basis of Krishna consciousness. So, no meat eating or fish or eggs, etc. So, killing animals destroys the quality of mercy. So, it just takes us into the opposite direction. And one turns one's body into graveyard by consuming dead animals. So animals are not our food actually. So we know that everything in this universe is under the influence of three gunas: uh, mode of goodness, that is sattva, and mode of passion, which is rajo guna, and mode of ignorance, which is tamogun. So in order to progress in bhakti, we have to transcend these modes. So ignorance happens to be the lower mode, and above that is better is rajoguna, mode of passion, and above that is mode of goodness, which is satogun. So we want to transcend as much as possible. We can start bhakti no matter whatever guna we are. Bhakti is independent of everything, but to achieve perfection, to achieve more and more favor and progress, and not have more hindrances or get rid of sins and not commit more sins, we should try to achieve mode of goodness as much as possible. And then finally, we have to transcend this mode of goodness also and try to be in Satogun, Shuddha Satogun, Shuddha Sattva, that is pure goodness. So currently, we will see that even if we say that somebody is in mode of goodness, actually it's all mixed state. So nobody is in just for pure goodness or pure rajogun or pure tamogun. It's a mixed state. You will see that one gun is primarily more in that person, lot more than compared to other two gunas. Um, so we have to transcend these three modes and try while practicing bhakti. We should need to be very conscious and cautious that we at least try to be in satogun. Animals are not our food, so such diet is saturated with the modes of passion and ignorance and therefore cannot be offered to the Lord. A person who eats these foods practices in a conspiracy of violence against helpless animals and thus curtails his spiritual progress. No gambling. So truthfulness is destroyed by this gambling. So it just again takes, if you gamble, if you have speculative nature, then it takes you away from truthfulness and more away from truthfulness. So now again, we want to increase this quality of truthfulness. So this is obvious. Gambling turns a person into a liar, a cheat. Gambling invariably puts one into anxiety and fuels greed, envy, and anger. So there are four defects of human nature. That is, must cheat, prone to illusion, imperfect senses, and must lie. Cheating propensity, must lie, prone to illusion, and imperfect senses. So these are four defects of human nature. So when we are in material existence, so we will suffer from these four defects. And as we progress in spirituality, we are transcending these four defects of human nature. This can take a very, very long time. And also, there are six enemies of the mind. Um, so which are lust, anger, greed, illusion, envy, fear. So these are again six enemies of the mind, which cause so much hindrances in our path of bhakti. So we need to get rid of these. So we should avoid gambling and the other three um, uh, uh, the four pillars of sins, and try to be in four pillars of religion. Um, So these are four regulated principles. So no use of intoxicants. So we know many arguments against the use of intoxicants. It is not a very difficult thing to understand because anyone with a sane mind will understand that taking intoxicants is physically, mentally, and spiritually detrimental. So it destroys the principle of austerity and again takes us into opposite direction, because the reason people take to drugs is that they want to avoid their suffering in the material world. Now, the suffering we experience is actually because of our past sins. We had past karma, past sins we had committed, our prarabdha. So if we take to bhakti, we we want to not only get rid of the past sins, and practicing bhakti, having knowledge, spiritual knowledge, we try to avoid committing sins in this life, and not incur more sins, and not have more baggage, something we want to avoid. And so people, not knowing this, and seeing this as a refuge to avoid the suffering in the material world, they take to such a life: drugs, alcohol, tobacco, etc. Other food stuffs like caffeine and drinks, which actually cloud our mind and overstimulate our senses, which people think that they are enjoying temporarily, which is a temporary pleasure, but in a long run, it is a pain. It is a pain actually. Um, so this makes it impossible for practitioners of bhakti to practice the principles of bhakti yoga. So no illicit sex. Cleanliness is destroyed by this illicit sex. So now there's nothing wrong in sex. This is sex out of marriage, and or any sex for any purpose other than procreation, which is highlighted as illicit sex. So sex for pleasure compels one to identify with the body and prevents one from understanding Krishna consciousness. Um, so, but uh, but sex for any purpose, but sex for procreation, to get Krishna conscious children, this is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong in this, because you want to have a society of good people. So devotees, when they have their children in Krishna consciousness, with the intention of them to taking to Krishna consciousness, and they from the very beginning they steer their life in such a direction that they are association of Hari Katha, devotees eating prasadam, and chanting and doing every other Vaishnava activities. So they build a taste, higher taste in the very beginning, and then they happen to be a boon for the society when they grow up and serve people, humanity, by teaching them what is right. So, so anyone serious in advancing in Krishna consciousness should, uh, practice these things. Um, the four regulative principles. See, these are very important. Anybody who wants to progress in spiritual life. So, yeah. Um, so anyone who is serious about advancing in Krishna consciousness should therefore abstain from or regulate sexual activity according to the scriptures. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna says that sexual union for conceiving a child to be raised in God consciousness is an act of devotion to Him. So by following these principles, one is not repressing himself or herself, but is actually elevating oneself to a spiritual or superior platform. Now, by chanting Hare Krishna, one gets a higher taste, and one will build a firm determination to, progress in the spiritual life, leave material desires behind, and whatever the level of spiritual realization one has at that time. Um, so one who sees things as they are can understand that freedom from all restriction is animal life. So one may ask, anybody who is new to this thing, he will ask, not doing, eating meat and gambling and intoxication and illicit sex, not doing things, or if somebody tells somebody to not do these things, is like, you're restricting one's freedom. Actually, it is, when we say freedom, you can see it in two ways. In material consciousness, you might see that, you might feel that it is restricting our freedom, as in material life or material consciousness. But in reality, what is happening is we are under the illusion of this material energy, which is Maya. We see ourselves as body, not as soul, and thus we are conditioned by this illusory energy under the influence of three modes of material nature. And what by practicing these things, by regulating our life, by following these four regulative principles, we are actually achieving freedom from this material consciousness, from this material energy of the Lord Maya. And then we can see, when we say that we are spirit, soul, and not material body, then we can free ourselves and see for ourselves that our real swarupa is that actually we are spirit, soul, and our state is to serve and please the supreme personality of Godhead. um, and slowly, when we progress, when we hear more katha and continue following these four regulative principles and follow the instructions of the guru, then we can see things as they are. So, but one needs to be very determined, in firm determination to actually uh, perform these austerity and tapasya. Initially, it might be very inconvenient, but you should have determination. So, this is how it is. Um, so we actually, when we come to bhakti, we actually go through these three things: samandha, abhideya, and prayojana. So there is a acharya for each of these three things, and there is a presiding deity. There is a deity for it. According to Vedic principles, there are three stages of spiritual advancement, namely samandha, jnana, abhideya, and prayojana. Samandha jnana refers to establishing one's original relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Abhideya refers to acting according to the constitutional relationship, and prayojana is the ultimate goal of life, which is to develop love of Godhead, prema. If one adheres to the regulative principles under the order of the spiritual master, he will very easily achieve the ultimate goal of his life. That is spiritual perfection and prema for the Supreme Lord. A person is addicted to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, very easily gets the opportunity to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. This is mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.73 purport. So this is how it is. When you come to bhakti, we take four regulative principles. You have a guru, you follow the instructions of the guru, and you perform some austerity, um, and lead a very regulative life. That is four regulative principles, etc. So initially, it might be repressing. You might experience that, but later you will even transcend these things when you develop love for Lord. It will be piece of cake for you to practice, for anybody. So this is how it is, and so if anybody has any questions, please ask. um, I'll try to answer.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. That was a
Ha-
very nice class, enlightening class.
Hare Krishna,
I
Maharaj.
have a tulsi plant, and I've always been thinking of transplanting it into another pot. So
Hmm.
in your lecture today, you said this is the right day to transplant it. Can I do it today, Prabhuji?
So tulsi is certainly to be planted on any day. I'm not sure it's highlighted that specifically it can be planted in day of Ekadashi. Actually, we
Okay.
don't want to disturb tulsi,
Okay.
so you should
Okay.
see. So leaf also we try to keep ready, leaf usually in advance. Um, you know so if you have manjari buds, etc., you have it ready, you can plant it on this day. But usually we refrain from disturbing
Touching. Okay.
tulsi on ekadasi and dwadasi. I'm not sure actually if we do these things on specifically. We definitely don't pluck leaves on dwadasi. um, so you can check with your um, somebody in temple, whosoever your counselor is, if it is okay to do this on this specific day. um, I'll also check and maybe I'll let you know. I don't remember it if it highlighted that it should be done on Ekadasi day. But
Fine, Prabhuji.
these are the things we actually do, which will help us progress and get rid of sins on any day. When you do that, you offer tulsi leaf to the Lord, manjari buds, and so I'm not sure we actually disturb Tulsi on Ekadasi or Dwadasi. So if you have it ready, like manjari buds and Tulsi leaves, very good. You offer.
We can buy it, no? If we not having it ready.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. That will be great. That will be great. But you can also check with your counselor if it is okay to actually transplant it on, like you have it in ground somewhere and you want to put it in a pot, or if you have it in pot, you want to put it in your garden. I'm not sure if we disturb it, if it's any kind of disturbance. But if you have it ready or you buy it, that is wonderful. That is great. Yeah.
Okay,
But
Prabhuji.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank
Hare
you so
Krishna.
much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So, if anybody has any other question, please let me know. Uh, um, Anand Rupa Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much. Thank you
Hare
so much
Krishna,
for
Prabhu.
this class.
Hare.
So,
Prabhuji, the Mataji had one question. If Tulsi can be planted, on Ekadasi. So I highlighted that I'm not sure if we can disturb Tulsi, but if it is ready, certainly you can do it. You can get a pot and plant it. But I don't know if it is, we should disturb it if it is in the ground. So maybe if you, I'm not sure of this answer. If you know or anybody there else knows, maybe you can message in the group. That will be great.
yes, Prabhuji, you are right, Prabhuji. As far as I know, we should not disturb Tulsi
Okay, all right.
during the Ekadasi day, and we should not even plug during the Dwadasi day.
So I see day. Yeah,
So,
yeah. Okay.
yeah, it is better to not do
Get
any
it.
kind of transfer, or
Uh,
even sometimes it says ki you should not even water Tulsi during the Ekadashi
ha.
day, because
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Tulsi may be doing the Nirjala Vrata. So
Hmm.
it is always better to
Okay.
avoid. And yeah, if it is already, if you are just purchasing and
Ha.
keeping it somewhere, then
Yeah,
that
yeah.
not a issue. But
Okay, okay.
plugging
All
or
right.
repotting it is avoidable.
Okay, okay. Wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hari Bol.
Then if you don't
Hari.
have it ready, we can purchase those which is sold in the temple. This
Yeah,
no
yeah.
Yes,
premises.
Yeah,
Mother.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Prabhuji Mataji. Hare Krishna. If anybody has
Hare
any
Krishna.
question, please. Yeah. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. No, I was just saying that. I'm
Hare
sorry.
Krishna. Dhanavad. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranams.
Hare
Dhanavad
Krishna.
Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Dhanavad
Hare Krishna,
pranam to
Prabhuji.
everybody.
Dhanavad
Dhanavad
pranam.
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.